Edward Githaiga is the Chief Inspiration Officer at Africa for Haiti Lobby.
Yes.
Good morning, Edward.
Good morning.
Welcome to the hot seat of the situation.
Thank you. It's actually getting hot right now. I can feel it.
Very good.
Because the question is direct and it needs a direct answer.
Very good.
Was it fair or unfair?
We shall delve into it shortly. First of all,
Yes.
Before you even tell us about the Africa for Haiti and why you're the Chief Inspiration Officer, time for the Proverb City. So, Edward,
Yes.
City goes to an African country every week.
Yes.
And in that country, he mines proverbs and comes and gives us a proverb every day from that country.
The proverb of the day: passion is of greater consequences than facts.
Passion is of greater consequences than facts. Edward, what's your interpretation?
I think it's like saying don't react with emotions, you know. Stick to the path, you know. Facts are always going to win the day. Being emotional will not win the day. So like we have today, we have a lot of facts to bring here on the table just to show that there was an error in the judgment, even though we have to respect the law. But the facts have to stand. You know, we feel the judge was a bit passionate rather than factual.
And the consequences that
be is that now that judgment doesn't even put into place the plight of the Haitian people.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's Africa for Haiti?
Africa for Haiti is a response to the Haitian call, a united and compassionate effort that emerges from African Kenya Initiative, where we are teaming up with Haitians living in Kenya, Haitians living in diaspora, because as you know, Haiti is a country that has refugees all over in the Western Hemisphere. Most of the people moved due to the many issues that Haiti has been going through. And Haiti has suffered for a very long time. You remember in 2015, they had like a We Are the World concert for Haiti, trying to help Haiti, but it worked, but it didn't solve the problems. Haiti has got a myriad of problems. So we as Kenyans feel, as common Kenyans feel that it's time we unite as Pan-Africanists. Apart from the leaders, let's have a human touch. Let's have a soft side of things. Rather than just looking at it as a deployment, can we understand our cultures? Can we understand our needs? What can bring us together? Can we trade together? Can we exchange together? And that's what Africa for Haiti is. And in this sense, Africa for Haiti is a lobby group in support of the deployment, because we do understand the situation of the Haitian people in Haiti. And the call has been made to the United Nations, and Kenya was the first country to accept the call made by the United Nations at the Security Council under resolution 2699.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the deployment of Kenya's forces, in this case the police service.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
Sure.
But what else does this lobby group do for? Because let's look at what's happening in Haiti. This is not a 2023 thing or even a 2024 thing.
Yes.
We're talking about 60 years.
60 years.
Okay?
Yes.
There's been war, there's been conflict, there's been governance issues. We have gangs who have been in the presidential palace and assassinated not one,
3,
not 2, presidents.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about your
common
run-of-the-mill conflicts where people are jumping up and down and then they're sprayed with tear gas. This is some serious stuff. So what does this lobby group actually do, and who is the target? The people of Haiti? Are we talking about governance issues? Are we talking about humanitarian aid? What exactly does the lobby group then seek to do? Let's talk about deployment later.
Okay. So we seek to create awareness, global awareness to this fact. As you know, the Haitian mission has been approved by the United Nations. So it's like whatever the United Nations approves becomes like a law. You understand? And state parties are obligated to implement that to the letter. And in fact, so one thing that we'd like to bring forward is the misconceptions that are there and the lack of awareness among even Kenyan people and the diaspora. You find that a lot of people are looking at this mission in a negative perspective, right? And forgetting the historical significance of who Haiti is. Haiti is actually the first black republic of African people in the world. That's during the slavery, you remember? They fought the slave master and were able to defeat him and set up a black independent state within the Western Hemisphere. Secondly, Haiti they were colonized by the French later on, and they were able to defeat Napoleon, the great Napoleon of France, and bring him down. That shows you the resilience of Haiti. And in fact, as a Kenyan, I'm inspired by Haiti's historical significance, because that same strength and determination is what that inspired the African independence movement. Because as you remember, during that time, there was a lot of racism, there was a lot of apartheid, there was segregation, there was everything. Black people didn't have a right or a say. So we didn't have a pedestal or a light to look up onto that can lead the way. So if you look at the Mau Mau rebellion and the other countries like Quinzinga in Angola and many other African states that did have a revolution or a revolt against the colonial masters, Haiti therefore stands a great part. And I want to quote what His Excellency the President said during his speech at the UN. Africa owes Haiti. I personally feel like a Kenyan, we owe Haiti. Look at the peace and tranquility Kenya is enjoying because of the freedom that we have. Haiti has not had the chance, and rightly, like you said in your question, for 60 years they haven't seen peace. So unless now we look at it from a different perspective, and I know lots of people are saying, oh, this is puppetry, this is imperialism, and that's why people don't understand. Today at the Security Council, one country that funds peace missions globally is the United States of America, isn't it? And you all know that.
Funds
like
peace
yes, peace mission.
Right.
We even start nearby here in Somalia and in other countries in Africa. So trying to point and blame the US for drafting the resolution was not the right idea. The right thing that we're supposed to be looking at is the plea that was not made by the US. It is the Haitian government that made the plea to the United Nations. Independently, okay? Because, like you rightly said, the situation in Haiti is not like anywhere else in the world. I think it's the only country where it's been run by gangs. That gangs have occupied the state house. And the government that is remaining is in a quarter, like a small part of Port-au-Prince, the capital city of Haiti. So the needs are dire. Then therefore, we're also looking at the humanitarian part. It's holistic. You cannot just look at it one way, and that's why we're looking at it also as a humanitarian aspect, by bringing and galvanizing their awareness.
So the approach then, what's the approach? Is the approach to go and fight off these gangs and get them off Port-au-Prince?
Yes.
Or is the approach another political dimension? What is the approach seeking to understand why the situation is as it is today in Haiti, and looking at the historical perspective and the various players in that conflict?
Indeed. On the side of enforcement and law and order, we leave that to the Security Council and its instruments and treaty that was signed, United Nations Security Council Resolution 2699. We are approaching this on a soft kind of dimension, okay? People to people. What activities we plan to take is probably where I need to start from. We want to orchestrate a series of activities that will include an Africa for Haiti unity concert, in the sense that we want to have a unity concert here in Nairobi, hopefully before deployment, where we will bring several musicians and entertainers who are part of the almost 10 countries that are going for the peace mission. Because the dire need of Haiti came as an emergency. This is actually like an emergency response. So there was no time to plan ahead for this. So things are falling in place as we move.
So what does the concert do?
So the concert will bring the voice of the Haitian people, because the different artists that will participate within that concert will amplify the needs and the dire needs that the world needs to focus on. You see, like what happened in many countries when there's a disaster and there's a concerted effort and there's an awareness that is raised, and the consciousness of the world and the global world comes together in unity to support that. And that's what the Haitian people need. I want to take you back.
So what do you want to see as the outcome of that concert?
Exactly. The outcome is, first, like I said, raise global awareness for the plight of the Haitian people.
True.
Secondly, is to be able to generate Africa and CARICOM to stand together. You see, CARICOM is the AU of the Caribbean islands, right? And CARICOM has also contributed to this mission.
Okay.
So we want to bring the CARICOM countries together, their artists together, so that we can raise the global awareness on this matter. Secondly, we also want to propagate and show that this mission is not about imperialism. This mission is a pan-African mission, like our president said when he gave his speech during the United Nations General Assembly. You remember that? So we are saying that indeed this is an African-led mission. Kenya, and I just want to point out a bit also about the judgment at this juncture. For the Mwita to claim that we cannot deploy police is a misnomer. Kenya has deployed police to Somalia. Isn't that outside Kenya? Kenya has deployed police to Sierra Leone. Isn't that outside Kenya, even outside the jurisdiction of East African community? Kenya has deployed police in Sudan, Southern Sudan. So
When?
it's there, it's factual. I have the facts. In fact, I had come with them printed, but
since 2010, how many police deployments have we had?
at least 3 or 4.
Since 2010?
Yes, before 2010 was the Sierra Leone, but the Southern Sudan is a current occurrence.
Which one?
Somali, Southern Sudan. Yes, police deployment.
When?
It's there, brother.
Deployed as the police or as part of the peacekeeping force?
No, deployed as police.
To do what?
Can I just get it for you once?
Yes.
It's here. Yes. Kenya police officers have a proven track record in international peacekeeping missions. They have served in various conflict zones, including Southern Sudan, Somalia, Liberia, where they have played significant role in maintaining peace and stability. And that is actually what the UN
I'm not arguing
resolution.
with that. I'm just arguing. I'm asking
the experience equipped them with the skills and knowledge needed to navigate challenging situations, making them very valuable assets in volatile environments such as Haiti.
My question is, after 2010, which deployment of police has happened?
That's what I'm saying. I may not.
Judge Mwita,
I may not have
Judge
the
Mwita
dates.
used the Constitution, Constitution of Kenya 2010,
Yes.
in saying that this is unprocedural and unconstitutional.
Yes.
Because there's now the Constitution creates an entity called the National Security Council and says the National Security Council does not have the mandate to deploy police officers outside the country. And that's what you're arguing against. And you're saying that this is wrong. Right? So when you say that this is wrong because it has happened before, I'm asking you to give us the insight.
I'm giving you the insight, and the example I want to use.
Where the National Security Council has deployed police officers outside Kenya.
The one I want to use is the AMISOM mission. AMISOM. You see the AMISOM?
Yeah.
The AMISOM was after the 2010 Constitution.
Who was deployed?
Kenya police have been deployed. Yes. To train, to offer expertise, you understand, to the police in Haiti. Yes, I'm going to get it for you. Just a minute.
Okay.
Just a second, I'm just downloading. Yes, but as it downloads, you know the fact that Somali newly deployed police officers from Kenya fully induct into AMISOM.
Which year was this?
I'm just downloading it. Just a second.
Okay, so as it downloads,
Yes, here you go. Here we go. So the United Nations Resolution 2628 has authorized African Union Peace and Security Council to reconfigure AMISOM and replace it with African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, effective 1st of April. Newly deployed police officers from Kenya fully induct AMISOM. A group of Kenya police officers newly deployed in Somalia as individual police officer IPOs has completed a 1-week induction course aimed at educating them on the mandate of the African Union AMISOM. You understand? So this was done. It's there. It's factual. AMISOM has deployed police officers.
What was the process of sending the police officers there?
Similar to what we have. It's an agreement. The Somali government requested the Kenya police. It's there in Police Service Act. I think even in Judge Mwita's judgment, he actually acknowledged that the Police Service Act does provide for that deployment when we have an arrangement of some sort with the country that is requesting.
The Police Service Act?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Were they deployed by the National Security Council?
The National Security Council is the body organ given mandate.
Can I explain?
Given mandate by the Constitution, overall all security organs.
Let's look at this very carefully.
All security
Let's look at this very
organs.
carefully here. AMISOM,
Yes.
the folks who were actually in positions of force, war, were made up of KDF.
Yes.
And this is the constitution that we see that we must be very clear about.
Very clear.
Police officers were brought in to carry out civilian work in the area of conflict because this was something very clear. Even at that time, the Inspector General of Police for this deployment that you speak of, the police officers were brought in to carry out civilian work because defense forces could not do that in a position of conflict. So police officers were not carrying out positions of force.
You see, the question on this table is, have they been deployed or not? Let me tell you, wait, ma'am. Situation in Somalia was different. Hold on. Yes. From the situation we have in Haiti. And secondly, I want to point out that the procedure was followed. The procedure to Haiti was followed clearly at law level. Because hold on,
Judge has said
no.
not
I just want to point out the procedure. I'm not talking about the actual deployment.
Okay.
I'm saying the procedure.
Yeah.
The United Nations resolution was made 2699 last year, and Kenya accepted together with other countries. And by the way, if you look online, those countries have no issue. The only issue is that we have activists, professional activists, who will run to court to block the government on anything and everything. However, moving on, once the United Nations Security Council made that resolution,
Right.
I want to point out first, foremost, the procedure. Are member states of the UN legally obligated to comply with the Security Council decision? Number one, the Security Council has primary responsibility for maintenance of international peace and security. It has a member, 15 members, and each member under the Charter. All member states are obligated to comply with the Council's decision. So all Kenya did, all His Excellency the President did, all Kindiki did was to follow and comply as a member state of the United Nations.
If that was the case, and I'm going to stop you there, if that was the case, why did we not see every single member of UNGA, the 100 and something nations, complying if it was obligatory?
Let me tell you.
Hold on. Because what we are saying here is, here is a suggestion to the world. Haiti needs help. There was no hammer to your head that said, you must do this and you must comply, such as what you're suggesting. Because if that was the case, every single country that subscribes to the United Nations would be sending troops.
Indeed, but you see, there is democracy in the United. There's democracy in the United Nations. No.
Mixing issues.
You're the one mixing.
Because
you're asking.
Said,
no.
Ma'am. You've just said that because it has come from the Security Council, everybody who hears what the Security Council has said is obligated to comply. Now you're saying there's democracy.
No,
which one
you're
is
not
it?
understanding me.
Please make
let
me
me take you a step before that. So what the UN Security Council does, and the Secretary General, they make, once a country like Haiti comes with an appeal, it goes to the UN Secretary General, and the UN Secretary General takes it forward to the council, and the council have a deliberation with it, and then one of the council members, because I said there are 15, drafts a resolution, sawa, and in this case it was drafted by the US. Kenya and its global position in peacekeeping missions, and in every time there is an appeal for peace, law and order, Kenya has always risen to the position. So Kenya and especially the world was waiting for countries like Kenya who have always risen to this position.
The world
and
of the
Kenya and Kenya rose to that position.
So they didn't have to comply.
Yes, and agreed. No, wait.
We must be
it is
careful with
voluntarily. Listen. What I'm trying to say is this. That's why I'm taking you. That's why I'm taking you step by step.
The steps I understand. Trust me.
So
I
not every country has the experience like Kenya.
You know, if
in peacekeeping missions,
even if you raise your voice, the facts remain the same.
I'm sorry, not raising my voice.
We are talking. You cannot mix democracy and the intent to comply in the same sentence. If you make a suggestion from a voluntary point of view as a nation, that is up to you. The Security Council does not make it mandatory for you to take up a position. If there is a global expectation and you rise to the occasion, that is very different from saying that the Security Council, you will be forced because the Security Council has said 1, 2, 3, you must comply. So let's put this thing to bed.
We rose to the occasion.
Exactly. So you didn't have to comply.
No, we rose to the occasion because of the plea. Like the Somalis, like Congo,
but
like all other countries that Kenya has gone before.
Remember that this resolution, as it was arrived at, was brought about by the United States.
This resolution was not brought about by the United States.
Listen to what I said.
It was brought by the Haitian people.
The resolution as it was arrived at was suggested by the United States. I'm not going to go away from that because it is factual. It is there.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
It was one nation that suggested.
Yes.
Ask yourself.
Was it vetoed?
Ask yourself.
Was it vetoed? Why wasn't it vetoed? If it was wrong for the deployment, you know how the Security Council operates.
I'm asking a question and I need you to answer it because you are in the lobby group here and it's very important the things that you're asking people to come and support you on. Okay? To have an understanding of what happened in the background. It's very important. Indeed. And I'm saying if you comply to something, one nation who made the suggestion in the very beginning, who has veto power in the Security Council, who came out and made a suggestion, guess what? It's not sending troops. Did you know that?
What?
The United States?
Oh my. You know, you speak like you have no knowledge of the history of Haiti. America has tried severally.
I said now. I'm talking about
you see,
now.
Yes, now they're not sending troops because, and you have to give me an opportunity. Because it's like you're trying to sell a certain narrative, which is not.
I'm trying to understand what your lobby group is doing.
Now, let me help you understand, because you might be talking about the UN. I don't work for the UN.
But you seem very clear about
yes, because it's knowledge you have to have in your fingertips. All right. The US historically has tried to help the Haitian matter. Okay. And in this essence, you can see the countries that are participating are CARICOM countries and African countries because we want to make it a Pan-African approach. We want to have it to be a Pan-African approach kind of mechanism, unlike how it has been before. And I want to point out to my sister that indeed, Kenya rose to the occasion like Kenya has risen to the occasion in many occasions.
Okay.
All right.
So this is about morality. So morally, you're saying that morally there's something. There's a connection between Kenya and African countries with Haiti.
Yes.
Morally, there's a need to do what is right.
Yes.
And what is right is when your brother calls up for help, you do something.
You do something.
Legally, though.
Yes.
Legally.
Yes.
You have to follow a certain procedure that is established in country. Okay? So let us separate those issues. What the matter was taken to court by Third Way Alliance and the others was challenging the legal process taken to approve this deployment. And what the judge responded to was what was taken before him. The legal process being followed to deploy these troops to Haiti. And the judge said, it's unconstitutional. The institution that has brought this matter up should not bring this matter up. This still is, the government has said it's going to appeal this.
Yes.
Okay?
Rightly.
So let's not really argue on the legalities of this and
Yes,
that.
yes.
As it stands,
Yes.
a competent judge with jurisdiction has said it's unconstitutional as it stands. Okay?
And
Now, if you want to have the legal argument on whether or not this is legally true, whether the judge is right in his legal interpretation or not, I don't think we are in the place to do
No.
that, to discuss that.
Yes.
So let's go into, okay, the lobby
However,
group that you represent
yes.
as the chief inspiration officer for Africa for Haiti is saying that, you know what, Kenyans, we need to find a way of coming to the aid of the people of Haiti.
Yes.
By deploying, is it police officers, or are you insistent on police officers, or are you insistent on deploying Kenyans to go and help restore peace?
Thank you.
Whether they are Kenyan police, Kenyan army, Kenyan military police.
You see,
Are you fixated on it being Kenya from the National Police Service?
before I go into that, I just want you to allow me to indulge a bit on that judgment. And I know you said rightly that we don't have to argue on that because it's constitutional. But the first point of the matter is the judge is not final.
He is not.
He may be a competent judge, but there is a court process that has not been exhausted.
True.
Secondly, if you read his judgment, the second part of his judgment pointed out a remedy. Okay? And you've heard, I think when we were coming into the show, the president was speaking on that matter. And he said that remedy, and already I want to say
What
that
is the remedy that
the
the
remedy
judge
is
recommended?
that Kenya and Haiti have established diplomatic ties. Sawa sawa? And that the pact was signed when the diplomatic pact was signed in New York when the president was at the General Assembly. So therefore, what we're going to do is regularize the relationship within the Kenya Police Service Act between the Kenya Police Service and the Haitian police.
Having reciprocity.
Yes,
Which is
exactly.
what the judge
so
said.
that then now the deployment, once it's compliable with the law,
Yeah.
then the deployment can go on.
So you have no issue with what the judge said.
No, listen, the only thing is this. We hope that the judge would understand that
There's urgency in the
there's
matter.
urgency in this matter. And the Haitian people come first in this matter.
So we break the law?
No, we are not breaking the law. And because Kenya is a country of following the law, and that is why the president has said we are going to appeal and we are going to rectify as per what the law states. Because remember, like I told you, this was an emergency call, a global call, and Kenya rose to it.
Okay.
And you know also in parliament, it allows the executive to implement and later on, regularize.
No.
No, hold on. You've seen that happen. Yes.
No.
Why?
Let's not make stuff up on the
No,
fly.
I'm saying you're not getting me. You remember like the Hustler Fund. Let me just take you back to the Hustler Fund.
Yes.
Please.
Hustler Fund. Let's hear this example.
Listen, just give me an opportunity.
Go on.
In Parliament, before anything is passed in Parliament, the executive there is a window of opportunity for the executive to implement a policy and regularize it later, like make it part of the law.
Which
Go
one
to
is it?
Parliament, like the Hustler Fund.
Okay, give us the example of the Hustler Fund.
Exactly.
What did the,
so
what did the executive do?
the government established the Hustler Fund before it was established in Parliament.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Wasn't that the argument?
The public finance management regulations
Yes.
were published by the National Treasury. They went through public participation. They went to Parliament.
Yes.
They were passed by Parliament. And then the president launched the Hustler Fund.
Yes.
Okay?
Exactly.
Parliament came first. And then the fund came second.
Yes.
I do not know.
There are situations.
Maybe there are those instances.
Yes.
I know I'm not the sharpest tool in this box. Maybe they're there where the executive can come up with a law,
Yes.
start implementing that law, and then go to Parliament and say, you see that law that we've been implementing, and we'll pass it. Maybe it's there, but I have never heard of it.
You know,
And maybe you can point us to that one where you say.
I think I don't want to be misquoted. What I'm trying to say, I don't want to be misquoted in this fact. Yeah. What I'm trying to say, there is because I'm not a lawyer, I would not argue it properly. But what I'm trying to say is that there is a window whereby government can propose to implement something, and later on regularize it through the law in parliament.
Where is that window, boss?
I need to get my information correct, but it's a matter of the law.
And are you suggesting that such a thing would happen in this instance?
No, what I'm suggesting is this. There was in this instance, there was nothing like that. But what I was saying is, the president of Kenya went to parliament with this UN resolution, and the parliament passed it. Okay? So the role of parliament is to make laws. Right? And the role of the judiciary is to interpret judicial matters or judicial issues. And that's why Kuro Koth, the Third Way Alliance, went to court. So the interpretation of the judicial issue that was brought before the court is what that has led to the judgment. But the procedure of coming up with the deployment and going there was followed as per the law, because it was passed by parliament, and parliament approved the deployment.
Wait, can we stop arguing about this? Because you've already said that the judge said there are some gaps that are missing in the process followed.
Yes.
And the president has acknowledged those gaps and said we are going to rectify those gaps. So now we can't go back and say there were no gaps.
No, there are gaps.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also, when you talk about Haiti and you talk about the ardent emergency need to save Haiti, Haiti has been independent since 1804.
Yes.
How many centuries?
2 centuries.
Exactly. In those 2 centuries, how many periods has it actually known peace?
Wow.
There's been more conflict than peace.
And that's the thing.
Now,
and that's the thing. You don't let your brother, when your brother is in trouble, you don't give up on him.
The United States occupied that country for 19 years. 1915 to 1934. Okay? That is after other people had. You see, the history of Haiti. Haiti. Okay. What is this thing that the Kenyan troops, let's say everything was hunky-dory and we'd follow the law, everything is fine. What is this thing that we're going to do that is going to change this 2-century-old history of violence which just keeps escalating with time? What is this thing that we're going to do?
Number one is we're going to bring our expertise to their police force. Remember, Haiti lacks law and order, number one. These gangs have taken over the whole country. Women are being raped. There's a lot of killings. It's just ruthless, basically. And Kenya has experience, Kenyan police has experience with dealing with dangerous gangs.
No, nothing like Haiti.
No, I agree. I agree with you. But you see, they still have the experience. And globally, we have the experience. Sawa, globally, in the global standing. And the Kenya police has the capacity to train the Haitian police and build the Haitian to become much more equipped to deal with the gang matter.
Can you give 3 areas in which the Kenyan police is well equipped to train the Haitian police in the issues that they are dealing with currently? Just 3.
3 areas that the Kenyan police
that they would go and equip.
Number one, Kenya has had an issue with dealing with gangs. You know, in the past, we've had issues with Mungiki and other people and other gangs in this country. And now we don't have those issues because the Kenyan police was able to stamp out those gangs. You know, also we've been able to deal with these things. Secondly, the level of professionalism within the Kenya police force in Africa and in the African context is one of the best, the professionalism. So they will be able to impart this on the police to deal with this. Then secondly, Kenya also has a good level of community policing. You know, even what lacks also in places like Haiti is instruments like community policing. Community policing is enshrined in our country. And the community policing idea. So those are 3 I've given you. Yes.
You know, everything that you've said is predicated on understanding that you're talking about a country which actually has law and order. Now, unfortunately, that is a thing that doesn't exist in Haiti. this thing we're talking about, law and order.
Yes. And that's where it should
Mungiki
be
existed. Yes, it should.
Yes.
One would have hoped that 19 years of occupation by the U.S. would have done this. 19 years, a long time.
And that's why we said we don't want to go into that. What we are saying, we're looking at what is their need today. Brothers and sisters, let me bring you closer to the need, apart from the need of the Haitian gangs and all that. Haiti suffered the worst hurricane and cyclone and earthquake in a matter following each other.
Yeah.
One after the other. Sawa, these people have never recovered. They also suffered the same way we suffered with the global pandemic of COVID. These people have never recovered. Now, to make it much more worse is now the gang problem. So we want to look at the gang issue systematically and approach it systematically so that we can come to the aid of the Mamamboga, of the common people in Haiti.
Let me ask you
who
a
are being
question.
ruled by the gangsters.
You've raised a very good point, actually. You've raised a very good point. I mean, at this rate, why stop? You've raised a very good point. You talk about a situation.
No, that, Mamamboga is a common person.
It's a buzzword.
It's a buzzword, yes.
You raised something about another situation in which Haiti went through a very terrible situation. Let's just take Haiti. Let's even forget about all the issues that Kenya has right now that could need some kind of intervention. Let's leave Kenya. Doesn't matter. Let's send troops to Haiti. Okay? Now, hurricane. You talked about the hurricane. Did we see a rally from Africa, like this same kind of lobby group, to help with mitigation efforts, humanitarian needs, a rally call such as this?
2015. 2015.
Like you've said.
2015, there was We Are the World.
Question, brother.
Sorry. Go on, sister.
From Africa, did we see this kind of thing?
From Africa?
Your lobby group, I don't know how long.
No, we were not
Africa
existing by that time, by 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. Our existence came about due to the interactions that we've had with other youth globally. And so we decided that, look, it's high time us as African youth, not just Kenyan, because this is not a Kenyan matter. It's an African youth thing. What can we do to support these Haitian people? And that's how Africa for Haiti came. And we decided now we're not just going to sit there, we're going to come together and raise this awareness and approach whoever is there.
Okay.
And raise the awareness. And that's why I'm here today, so that I can raise the awareness and raise the bar for Kenyans to understand we're not going to Haiti because we are a puppet of the West. We're going to Haiti because Haiti comes from Africa.
Let me ask another question.
Haitian people are African people.
May I ask another one?
Yes.
CT brought up the fact that there have been nations with military might, military intelligence, all manner of resources at their disposal. One of those countries being the United States. And there's been occupation in Haiti for the last 2 decades. And if anything, the situation has deteriorated. So my question is, if a country, which many have a claim that is the strongest on the globe in terms of its military might and expertise, has not been able to invite and maintain a situation of peace, what then do we think will be done now that will be different from what the United States was not able to do?
Thank you. It's a beautiful question.
I thank you.
Just like the person who said it. Let me tell you, not so long ago, similar noise that we're hearing today was being made about the Somali matter. We were being told that KDF is going to occupy Somalia. And today, years later, after the AMISOM started, was the objective achieved?
Of occupying Somalia?
No. The objective of bringing peace and stability in Somalia. Today we have an active Somali government, isn't it? The people of Somali have a government in place.
It was there before.
No, hold on. What I'm saying, during Siad Barre, and then I want to also point out, the same US, right, went into Somali, Black Hawk Down. You remember? During the time they tried to go into Somali to restore peace, they were kicked out. They went, they were chased out. They were defeated by the Somalis. But later on, Kenya came and AMISOM came and restored peace and stability in Somalia. And that is why Kenya is going to restore peace and stability, and not just Kenya alone.
Okay.
Antigua, Barbados, Suriname, Jamaica, you understand? All these African Caribbean countries are part of it.
What exactly is Kenya going to do in Haiti? I'm a bit confused.
Look, Kenya, according to what the deployment that has been brought about, that was brought to Parliament by, according to the Internal Security Minister, they're going to do it in phases, okay? Whereby they're going to deploy the police in different phases. And the mission, obviously, the secrets of the mission are held secret by the government. We would not start speaking here on what the mission technicalities will entail.
Right.
We are not in that position.
Okay.
And we would jeopardize the mission. So our work and my work is to create awareness, the global awareness.
Answer City's question.
Yes.
So what is Kenya going to do in Haiti?
Kenya is going to Haiti to assist the Haitian people in restoring law and order. First, to train the police.
So
it's a police.
It's an armed operation.
Yes, it is armed, and it's also going to entail all other aspects of the police service. There are those which are not about only arms. Like I said, community policing, where the police will have interaction with the people and bring peace, like they did in Somalia. Remember, even 80% of the police deployed in Somalia could not speak the Somalian language. They needed interpreters.
Yeah.
We're also going to have interpreters.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So, are the gangs agreeable to this initiative?
Of course not. Which gang? In fact, listen to what they have said. They have threatened this initiative. And the gangs are out of order.
You know the reason why I asked that question? They seem facetious. Just the other day here, we went to DRC. Just the other day, we took a peacekeeping mission to DRC. How did that one go? We were having problems even before we had landed. When we landed, there was problem after problem. In fact, the leader of that particular mission had to come back to Kenya. I'm simply saying the dynamics in a place like Haiti, they are so complex.
Yes, very complex.
And they are so rooted in the very fabric of that society that I cannot possibly see how a contingent of police officers from Kenya are going to resolve a 2-century-old problem. I cannot see.
No, we are not resolving a 2-century problem.
As a solution, City?
Yes, exactly.
You know,
where would the solution come from?
Yes.
The solution cannot be found if you don't involve those gangs. You see, the gangs, even if you look at their numbers, are fewer than the population of the people in Haiti.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So when gangs thrive, it has to be with some compliance with the citizenry. Mungiki, as we've told, they wouldn't have thrived if they weren't serving some need that the community has. And usually, when gangs are up and about, it means law and order broke down a long time ago. Because what they do is they provide the same services, albeit a little on the dramatic side that the law enforcement of a country ought to provide. Gangs only survive because there is a gap. In the absence of a gap, gangs cannot thrive in any
In this case,
So this mission is going to seal the gap.
in this case,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And
no,
I'm
in this
asking how.
case, that is not the case. Haitians are suffering under the gangs. There is no level of structure.
How do you know this?
No, I'm telling you, because the gangs are different gangs.
So how do we know
You see,
this?
like, if you go to a certain part of Haiti, they've got a different gang. If you go to another part, it's not structured.
You see,
And that's why it
those
doesn't require deployment of the army.
those gangs
It requires
are
police.
like,
This
those
is
ga-
level of police. Police security mechanisms are the ones who deal with gangs.
You see,
You
what we're
understand?
calling gangs here, for them to thrive, they're like a quasi-government. And these machete-wielding, gun-wielding, that's the security forces of that government in each of those places. They're in control. This is simply, what I'm trying to say is by the time they are in control, they didn't wake up in the morning and got into control. It started off as a ragtag outfit. Over time, people joined it and they became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That they're armed means they have the money to buy the arms.
And that they have support.
Yes.
What is it about Haiti? Why does this one country have such a long-running conflict? And yet, many international actors are all interested in this conflict in one way or another.
That's a very,
what is it about
very
Haiti?
good question. In fact, as a Pan-African, I ask myself that question severally. Haiti is number 2 to Congo
In?
minerals. You understand? And most of the countries that have minerals, you see, they are prone to conflict. There is always an external hand bringing this strife to the country. And even those gangs, perhaps what they're doing is they are mining these minerals and being able to sell them in the black market, where the Haitian people are not benefiting either way from the proceeds
Do we
of
know
such.
this?
Yes, it's there. It's been, look, the Haiti issue has been researched. For the United Nations to come up with that resolution.
So what are the gangs doing? The gangs, you say the gangs are
The gangs
mining,
are raping, they
they're
are
mining the
killing,
natural resources and selling them to the international market.
black market to raise funds to continue oppressing the people of Haiti. Okay? And that is why it will be approached in a different way, systematically, systemically. You're not just going to go like that, like you said rightly. There will be also areas of mediation. You understand? Peace processes like this will require mediation, isn't it? There are some places where you'll tell and give them the opportunity to seize arms, and drop their weapons, isn't it? And tell them, come, let's discuss. There will be a window, I'm sure, for the gangs to be given the opportunity to be part of a united Haitian approach towards peace and prosperity. So you're right. The approach will be different. Yes.
But are you talking about what is on paper, or are you talking about what you hope?
It's what is on paper.
You're hoping that the approach will be different.
And you'll be surprised by the time we're doing our concert and we will invite you officially and we'll give you a ticket to attend. You will see the level of the cry of the real Haitian people. And that is the voice we want to bring out. The Haitian people, like you said, my brother said, he's wrong to a certain degree. They don't reciprocate with the gangs. They in no point have agreed to the gangs to continue ruling them. And that is why Africa for Haiti wants to amplify the true voice of the women, the youth, the children, the elderly who are suffering under these gangs.
Okay.
And they're not.
When is the concert going to be?
It's we're targeting 2nd of March.
Okay.
Yes.
In Nairobi?
Yes, in Nairobi. And then there will be a series of events. I want to read it out for you. So
we'll start with this just the second.
So
of
the
March,
first,
because you're running out.
Yes,
of time.
the first concert will be held in Nairobi, like I said, in the month of March, and then we're going to have continuous panel discussions and workshops in New York, Miami, where we have a Haitian community, and then we're also going to have a head of states or Ministry of Foreign Affairs, UN mission countries meeting with CARICOM.
Okay.
Then we're also going to have a United Nations multinational support mission. And last but not least,
in Nairobi,
we are going to have a humanitarian
Thank you very
concert
much for joining us.
In Port
our time is up. Chief Inspiration Officer at Africa for Haiti Lobby. He's been our guest this morning. Thank you for tuning in to Kenya's biggest conversation.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.